Alright, you guys, this is my mom's 2000 Pontiac Grand Am. It used to be the 2.4 4-cylinder. I did the 3.4 V6 swap. Out of the 03 Grand Am. Like 3 other Grand Ams made this car, but it was a $100 engine, $200 parts car with a bad engine, and I pulled the trans, the wire harness, the fuse box, the air box, all the ram air shit, like pretty much everything else. The dash cluster came out of the 03. And overall it runs good. Everything's been working pretty well. Originally when we bought this car, it was $100 because it needed a new rack and pinion and a new subframe. That cost me like a little over $100 at the salvage yard. I swapped that out. My mom drove the car for over a year before the timing chain in that engine broke. And I looked and looked and looked all over and could not find another 2.4 in a wrecked car. So I ended up buying this whole other 03 Grand Am that had a bad engine and used all of it to swap this over to the 3.4. This thing fucking gets now. And my mom's having a few issues with these little coolant connectors right here. They were leaking. So I got those things tightened down. We got some brand new ones, but it turns out just the clamps were a little loose. So we ended up not even, there's the brand new ones. They were like 8 or 10 bucks a piece at AutoZone. But it runs great, drives great. Gave her these wheels for her birthday. Got brand new tires all around. Painted up her brakes, put brand new brakes on. Painted up the rear drums. They look pretty good. Oh, it's a rock. Man, overall, thing's been sitting for like 2 weeks since it snowed. And she fired right up. I just checked all the fluids on everything, topped her off with antifreeze, tightened down the clamps. Oh, man. We're getting there. It's like under $500 in this whole car. I have a red Grand Am I'm doing a supercharged 3800 swap on. And this is actually the full exhaust off of my red Grand Am, my 04. And since she had the 4-banger, the exhaust wouldn't bolt to the engine. And while I was working on the donor car for this transmission and everything, I had this car sitting out at my buddy's house, and someone came in the middle of the night and chopped the catalytic converter off of it. So whenever I did go to put it all together, there was no cat and the exhaust was dragging on the ground. So I just swapped the whole exhaust over from my red Grand Am. It's been a good car though for my mom. Really fun to drive though. I mean, I know they're not the best cars ever in the world, and they're not super fast, but man, dude, for what this car was when we got it, for what it is now, and with everything is under $1,000. I mean, really can't beat these cars. Everyone says these Pontiacs are throwaway cars, but dude, these Pontiacs are, that's all I own. Between me and my mom, we probably got 6 Pontiacs, Grand Prix and Grand Ams. And then, even all my buddies, they're all still GM 3400s, 3800s. And then my buddy Tommy, I've been working on that 3.4 to 3.8 swap Impala. And that's for my buddy Tommy's sister. And I mean, it's between all of us, man, like these GM cars are the way to go. They're cheap, parts are cheap, Easy to work on. Super simple setups. I mean, everything in here is factory, just from 3 other Grand Ams.